Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Shani, and in this video, you are going to learn some tourist-related vocabulary. In this video, I will give you a brief idea about these common words and how to use them. Let's get started. First, the most common greeting we say when we meet someone is not ayubowan, because this word is actually a very formal way of greeting and we don't use it in our day-to-day life. We just say kohomada, kohomada, which translates to how are you, but literally translated to how. But this is how we normally greet people. Since this is a question, the reply should be answering this question. The most common answer is Hondai. Hondai, which means good. Hondai. Next, we have the question you need to ask the most as a tourist, which is, do you have or are there? In Sinhala, it's just tiyenavada. Tiyenavada. This is such a useful word as a tourist. Tiyenava can be translated as have, has, there is, there are, and more. You can ask something like, Sos tiyenavada. Sos tiyenavada. Do you have those or are those available? Watura means water. So how do you ask, do you have water? It is Watura tiyenavada. Watura tiyenavada. One of the most popular dishes in Sri Lanka is kottu. And the most popular type of kottu is cheese kottu. So if you're interested in trying, what do you ask? Cheese kottu tiyenavada. Cheese kottu tiyenavada. Do you have cheese kottu? You know, Sri Lankan people love spicy food. The word for spicy food is Sara kama. Sara, spicy. Kama, food. If you enjoy spicy food, you can ask Sara kama tiyenavada. Sara kama tiyenavada. Do you have spicy food? Or if you are someone who cannot handle spicy food like me and want to ask the opposite, this is your sentence. Sara nati kama tiyenavada. Sara nati kama tiyenavada. Sara nati kama, food that are not spicy. Or if you want to say no spicy food, you can say Sara kama epa. Sara kama epa. Sara kama epa. Epa translates to don't want. So basically what you're saying is, I don't want spicy food. That is not a rude thing to say if you say it with a friendly tone. And this word epa is very useful in Sri Lanka, whether you're a tourist or if you're planning to deal with Sri Lankans in any situation. Epa means don't want or you're rejecting something. As an example, someone offers you a water bottle and you say, no thank you. You can say epa. Remember to say it with a smile in this situation. Or someone is being annoying and trying to sell you something. That happens a lot in Sri Lanka, by the way. Especially if you have a white skin, people think you are rich. So, what do you say in this situation? Epa. Smiling or not depends on the situation. And another situation you can use this is, you know, Sri Lankan people always offer you food and they love to give you food. And if you're not hungry and want to politely say no, you can say, Epa, thank you. with a smile. Yes, we use thank you in English. You will rarely hear someone say the Sinhala translation of thank you in most cities. But if you go to a more rural area, you might hear a lot of people use the Sinhala word for thank you, which is stuti. Stuti. Thank you. But as a foreigner, you can totally use this word to show respect towards the language and the country. Stuti. Thank you. Stuti. And don't ask me the Sinhala word for sorry because it's extremely rare to use it in Sinhala. It's mostly used by customer services and some older people and countryside people. In day-to-day life, we use the English word sorry, but that is not how Sinhala speakers pronounce it. It's more like sorry. So if you want to say sorry, you can say sorry. If you're wondering what the Sinhala word is, samavenna. Sorry. But if you feel like using it like a native speaker, then it's sorry. Next, we have another useful word as a tourist, which is kohed. Where? Kohed. You need to ask about a lot of where questions. Just say the name of the place in English and ask kohed. But make sure to add eka when you say a noun in English. Let's see some examples. Train station eka koheda. Where is the train station? Bathroom eka koheda. Where is the bathroom? Washrooms koheda. Where is the washroom? Ticket counter eka koheda. Where is the ticket counter? Entrance eka koheda. Where is the entrance? Exit eka koheda. Where is the exit? And if you're wondering if people will understand these English words, most people will understand these English words. So it's not a big deal because in Sri Lanka, the English literacy is quite high. So most people at least understand English. The next word is puluang. Puluang, which means can. In Sinhala, to make something into a question, we add the. So add the to puluang and it becomes a question. Puluwanda. Can you? Or it can mean can I? Puluwanda. You can use this with sentences like this. Ingrisi puluwanda. Can you speak English? Ingrisi puluwanda. The literal translation is can you English? But this is how we ask, can you speak English? And some answers are puluang, can, or ba, can't, or tikak, a little bit, tikak. If someone asks you, Sinhala puluwanda, because if you say some Sinhala words, there's a good chance they will ask this question. Sinhala puluwanda. Then what is your answer? You can say one of these. Sinhala ba. I can't speak Sinhala. Sorry, Sinhala terenne na. Sorry, I don't understand Sinhala. Or Sinhala tikak danna. I know a little bit of Sinhala. That means I speak a little bit of Sinhala. Sinhala tikak danna. Let's learn some of the most common compliments as well. Niyamai. Awesome. Niyamai. Niyamai. Rasai. Rasai. Delicious. Rasai. And you already learned the word Hondai. Hondai, which means good. You can also use this as a compliment. If you'd like to learn more compliments, watch the video you see in the description box. And the last thing we say when we leave a place is gihin ennan. Gihin ennan, which translates to I'll go and come again. You can only use this when you're leaving physically and not when you're ending a call. If you feel like this is weird, you can say mangyanawa, mangyanawa, which translates to I am going, which is one of the most common ways of saying goodbye. mangyanawa. If you're a group of people or at least two people, you can say appiyanawa, which means we are going. appiyanawa. Okay, let's see the summary of the most important words in this video. Kohomada, how are you? Or it can mean something like hello. Kohomada. Hondai, good. Hondai. Tienawada. Tienawada, do you have? Sarakama. Sarakama, spicy food. Epa, don't want. Epa. Stuti, thank you. Stuti. Koheda, where? Koheda. Puluang, can. Puluang. Niamai, awesome. Niamai. Rasai, delicious. Rasai. Gihin ennan or mangyanawa, goodbye. What we discussed here are some of the most common words and phrases that are useful for tourists and not the Sinhala translations of most common tourist phrases in English. Because in every language, the common words are different. Common words in one language might not be a common word in another language. For an example, most greetings are used in English in Sri Lanka. So if you use the singular translation of greetings like good morning, good night, please, excuse me, you will only be saying the translations and not what singular people actually say. And you need to be careful with how you say please because it can easily give a wrong idea if you use it wrong. The usage of please is much more different than the usage of please in English and in most languages. I will explain more about that in another video. The link to that video will be in the description box. In the next few videos, you will learn more vocabulary, phrases, and cultural things you need to know to travel in Sri Lanka. The link to the playlist is down below. If you'd like to learn more with more examples, more practice focusing on things you want to learn, you can book a trial session with me by sending me an email to lingocrown@gmail.com. Then see you in the next video. Bye bye.